2026 Porsche 911.
There are very few cars in the world that can stop you mid-sentence, make you forget what you were saying, and just stare. And right here, sitting behind me in this beautiful metallic silver, is one of them, the 2026 Porsche 911. Now if you've been following this channel for a while, you already know I have a soft spot for the 911. There's something about the shape, that unmistakable silhouette that hasn't really changed in over 6 decades, that just hits differently. As the camera slowly glides across the front end, you can see how Porsche has sharpened it ever so slightly for 2026. The headlights are slimmer, more defined, still round in spirit, but now with that ultra-modern LED matrix technology that almost looks like it's staring back at you. When you look at this car from the side, and the camera takes that slow pan from the front fender all the way to the wide rear haunches, you realize something. Porsche doesn't redesign the 911, they evolve it. This is still the iconic shape first introduced back in 1964, but now it's tighter, cleaner, more aerodynamic. The flush door handles sit seamlessly against the body. The wheels on this model, 20 inches up front and 21 at the rear, fill the arches perfectly. And those arches, they're wider this year, giving the 2026 model an even more aggressive stance. It looks planted, like it's gripping the earth even when it's standing still. Now here's an interesting fact about the 2026 Porsche 911, this generation continues Porsche's careful step into electrification. Depending on the variant, you're getting a mild hybrid assisted flat-six engine. And before the purists start typing angry comments, just listen to this. As I press the start button and the camera cuts to a close-up of the tachometer sweeping across the digital analog cluster, you still hear that unmistakable flat-six growl. It's deeper now, slightly refined, but it's still pure 911. The hybrid system isn't here to silence the soul, it's here to sharpen performance and improve efficiency. Under the hood, or technically, behind you, sits a 3.0-liter twin-turbocharged flat-six engine in the Carrera models. Power figures hover around 400 to 420 horsepower depending on the trim, and when you step up to the Carrera S, you're looking at closer to 480 horsepower. And here's where it gets wild. With the integrated electric assistance smoothing out turbo lag, throttle response feels instant. You tap the pedal, and the car just leaps forward. 0 to 60 happens in the low 3-second range in the S model, and when you're behind the wheel, it feels even faster. As we cut to rolling footage of the 911 cruising along a coastal highway, sunlight reflecting off the curves, you can see how composed it is. The steering is razor sharp, and I don't use that term lightly. Porsche's rear-engine layout has always given the 911 its unique character, and over the years they've mastered it. In 2026, the chassis feels more balanced than ever. The updated suspension system, paired with adaptive dampers, reads the road constantly. You feel connected, but never uncomfortable. It's that rare balance between performance and daily usability. Now let's talk about the interior, because this is where Porsche has really blended heritage with the future. As the camera moves inside and slowly zooms in on the dashboard, you'll notice something familiar, the central tachometer. Porsche kept it. It's partially digital now, but the spirit remains. Surrounding it is a fully customizable digital display that gives you everything from navigation to performance data. And yes, the infotainment system is faster, smoother, and finally feels completely modern. Wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, over-the-air updates, it's all here. The materials inside this 2026 model are just beautiful. Soft leather wrapping the dash, brushed aluminum accents, optional carbon fiber trims that give it a motorsport vibe. The seats hug you without suffocating you. And if you opt for the Sport Chrono package, you get that iconic clock sitting proudly on the dash, reminding you that this car has racing in its DNA. As the camera captures a close-up of the stitching along the seats, you realize that Porsche isn't just building a sports car, they're crafting an experience. Here's something that really impressed me. Despite all this performance, the 2026 911 is surprisingly practical. Yes, I said practical. You've got the front trunk, the frunk, with enough space for a weekend bag. The rear seats are still there, technically small, but usable for short trips or extra storage. And fuel efficiency? Improved thanks to the hybrid assist. For a car that can outrun most supercars from a decade ago, it's remarkably civilized. As we transition into a more spirited driving scene, the camera mounted low near the rear bumper capturing the exhaust tips, I switch into Sport Plus mode. The exhaust valves open up, the revs climb faster, and suddenly the 911 transforms. The steering tightens, the throttle sharpens, and the car feels alive. You take a corner, and the rear end just grips. Porsche's torque vectoring system subtly distributes power, helping you carve through bends with surgical precision. There's confidence here, the kind that makes you want to keep driving long after the sun goes down. Now let's talk about variants, because Porsche doesn't believe in one-size-fits-all. The Carrera is your entry point, pure and balanced. The Carrera S steps things up with more power and bigger brakes. Then you move into the GTS territory, sharper, louder, more track-focused. And of course, we all know the Turbo and Turbo S models are lurking, pushing horsepower into supercar territory. Porsche continues to refine each version so there's a 911 for almost every kind of driver. One of the things I love most about the 2026 Porsche 911 is how it respects its past. As the camera slowly circles the rear of the car, capturing the full-width LED light bar stretching across the back, you can see echoes of older generations. The engine is still in the rear. The proportions are still unmistakably 911. But it's also clear this car belongs in the future. The aerodynamics have been optimized with active cooling flaps and a smarter rear spoiler that adjusts automatically at speed. Driving this car at highway speeds feels effortless. The cabin is quiet when you want it to be. Road noise is minimal. The 8-speed PDK transmission shifts so quickly it almost reads your mind. And here's an interesting detail. Porsche has refined the hybrid integration so seamlessly that you barely notice it working. It simply enhances performance behind the scenes. But here's the emotional part. The 911 has always been more than numbers. It's a symbol. It's the car that people put on their bedroom walls as kids. It's the one that survived oil crises, changing regulations, and the rise of electric vehicles without losing its identity. And in 2026, it feels like Porsche is saying, we're not done yet. As I pull over and step out, the camera catching the car idling softly in the background, I can't help but smile. The 2026 Porsche 911 isn't trying to reinvent itself. It's refining perfection. It gives you performance that thrills, technology that supports, and heritage that grounds it. Whether you're carving through mountain roads, cruising through the city, or just admiring it in your garage, it feels special every single time. And maybe that's the magic of the 911. It evolves just enough to stay ahead of the world, but never so much that it forgets where it came from. As the engine revs one last time and the exhaust crackles gently on downshift, you realize this car isn't just transportation. It's emotion, engineering, and history blended into one perfectly sculpted machine. The 2026 Porsche 911 doesn't just continue a legacy, it strengthens it. And honestly, I don't think I'll ever get tired of saying that.